You don't know Marcus Messiahs. Yeah, like children. Ah, reaching out to like children. Yeah. But begging like children live right. Don't fuss, don't fight. Oh, no, better unite. Yeah. Oh, begging like children live right. Don't fuss, don't fight. No. Oh, no, better unite.
Share the video as soon as all you come in. Listen, tonight I ain't into playing no music. If all you think this show is like last night, it's not that. Enough is the name of this topic. Our lives must matter now. So guys, share this video right now. We're just gonna wait for a couple of people to come in first before we get into it. So I'm gonna continue with my Live Children song. But there's just one song. I'm just playing this one song tonight, and that's it there. I'm telling you guys, I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling fed up. I ain't even carrying on this live for no long period of time tonight because I had enough. I'm sick. I'm tired. Enough is enough. If we life don't matter now, it never will. Guys, just share this live right now. I'm just waiting for this song to play, just for a couple of people to come in, and then after we're gonna go. If you guys want to call in and you guys want to give your comment, if you want to express your frustration, then you could go ahead and you could click the link in the comment section there, and you could call in and you could express your frustration.
Don't fuss, don't fight.
But I'm telling you, I really had enough.
Now, begging like children live right. Don't fuss, don't
when your life have no value whatsoever, it comes to a time when you have to stand. It is said that you have to stand for something or fall for nothing. It is said, if not now, then when? If not us, then who? And I say that our lives, it must matter now. Share this video, share this stream, share this live. Just click that share button. We go in. In less than 60 seconds, we're gonna take this topic away. Opening up the floor for you guys to call in, have your say. But we only playing one song tonight. It's just this one song alone, and we're done with the music tonight. We ain't going for an hour and 45 minutes tonight. It's just say what we have to say and we out, because I need to get some rest right now. I had sleepless night last night. And right now where I am in the UK, it is now 11:33. So I going to bed early tonight. People are sorry. I'm fed up. All right. I even fed up listening to the music. I want to get into the topic. Hello to all of my friends all across the world, wherever you might be on this dark and gloomy Tuesday, the 2nd of June, 2020. If you have not as yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would like to ask you to go ahead and to go across to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Give us that support. If you're watching this live right now, go ahead and leave a comment. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you're there. But let's go, people. So everyone is aware as to what's going on in the United States and across the world today. Everyone is aware that that the world is rioting, that the unease, the discomfort, the dissatisfaction has reached to such a level that every single creed and race is crying out for the injustice to be compensated. And I am saying to you guys today that if every single, not just black person, but if every single person on the face of this planet does not stand up today against the evil that has been perpetrated to the black race for the past 401 years, then we are going to utterly fail. Listen, the time is now. I woke up, not even woke up, but I got up off the bed this morning because I didn't really sleep. And I was thinking about my 8-month-old son. I have my son, Romel Jr., 8 months old, lovely little boy, intelligent, smart, handsome. He brightens up my day. And the thought occurred to me, what if 20 years from now, 25 years from now, my son is 25, and he goes to some part of the world, or maybe right here in his country of birth in the United Kingdom, when there is still a lot of racism, even though they seem to downplay it quite a lot. But I've personally experienced it, and I know a lot of people who have experienced racism here in the UK. But it's not as prevalent as in the US and in other places. But I was just thinking, what if my son 20 years from now, 25 years from now, what if he is walking through a street? What if he is jogging through his neighborhood? What if he went to a supermarket and tried to write a check from his checkbook? What if he was simply walking down the street, and because the color of his skin, then he would be dealt an injustice? What if it was my son 20 years from now, 25 years from now, to get murdered in the street like a dog just because of the color of his skin and the texture of his hair? Our fathers pass this fight on to us, as their fathers passed it on to them. For 400 years, my people have been fighting this fight, but we have been fighting it disunified, disorganized. And the time is now for us to come together, black people all across the world, every single black person, but not every single black person only, every single minority, but not every single minority only, every single person of color, but not every single person of color only, every single person who considers themselves to be a decent and upstanding human being must come together now and stand with black people all across the world. And I want to speak to my black brothers and sisters especially, yeah? And I want to speak to the ones who think that this have nothing to do with them, that it was not their family, that in their community they are loved and they are respected, that in their job they are not discriminated against. I want to speak to you, black man and black woman, as we watch the entire world unite around the injustice that has been occurring to black people. I want to say to you, grow some balls. Grow some testicular fortitude and stand up for yourself. Because I promise you, those of them who do not like us, when they look at you, they don't say, oh, well, he's different. Well, he lives in Westmoreland. Well, he drives a Mercedes Benz. Well, he is from Woodbrook. When they look at you, all they see is a little black boy or a little black girl. And if it was you, they would have done the exact same thing to you. And if it is your child, they would do the same thing to your child. What happens to one, it affects us all. It is time that we realize, it is time that we come together. I have been watching the news all night last night, all day this morning, all afternoon, all night, and it is now 11:40 p.m. where I am at recording this live video right now. And all I have seen across the news all day, it was just injustice. It was just police brutality. It was just a president. Now listen, In 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency, I have never once opened my mouth to speak about the leader of the United States of America, because at the end of the day, he was elected by his people. But when the president of the United States starts to say that you should take whatever measures it takes, when you start deploying the National Guard to shoot live bullets at people in Louisville, Kentucky, when you kill the barbecue man who I used to go and buy barbecue from, I have to say that it affected me too. Listen, people, black people, you might not think it's affecting you, but I promise you, because when you walk down the streets, if we let them get away with it now, if we come so close to a revolution, if we come so close to changing the stem of things, if we come so close to shutting down economies across the world until our voices is heard and we give up now, then we will never, after 2020, we will never have another chance in our lifetimes. So, what we need to do, I completely agree with the protests. I do not agree with the destruction of the public, private, and government property, because I will tell you why. Because after you get angry and you say, let me burn everything and let me destroy everything, then when you're destroying what belongs to the taxpayers, to the government, you are destroying what belongs to you. And then the government, after all of this riot is over, the government is going to take your tax dollars and they're going to buy back and they're going to repair. So it is dollars that you could potentially come together and force the government to invest into your community. When you go about burning government buildings and burning police stations and destroying police cars, it's only your own thing that you're destroying. But I don't want to speak too much tonight. I want to open up the floor because people are vexed. And we already have one caller in the background. And we have him backstage and we're going to bring him on screen now.
What?
Joining me, first caller today. We have with ourselves here, we have the Woodman, the original Woodman, the joy of craft. Woodman, good night. Or good evening, rather.
Peaceful night, my brother. How are you doing?
You as well.
Can you hear me?
Definitely. We could hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Well, I wasn't expecting this amount of live broadcasting, but nonetheless, all's well.
Now, Woodman, before we get into it, now you shared something, a very powerful comment on a post earlier on today. And I really want to thank you for taking the opportunity to call into the show tonight, because I think the insight that you shared was so valuable. It was passing on a generational lesson, or breaking a generational lesson that was passed on, and passing on a new generational legacy onto your children. So tell us a little bit, Woodman. The floor is yours. Speak to the Black community. Speak to everyone who is listening to you tonight.
Okay. Well, it's more or less a building thought process that that is developing, right? In a spiritual sense, that we need to acknowledge the things that were wrong.
Yes.
Right? That caused us Black people a lot of pain, by us, to us, and it's like when we hear songs like Break Every Chain, right? And the adage of breaking the chains of slavery and stuff like that, right? We have come through situations where this chain that was on us, we utilized it, our foreparents utilized it to stay together, to stick together, to go through all the hardship and atrocities that was placed upon them so that we could have life.
Yeah.
right? And now we are experiencing some detrimental things happening to our people, home and abroad, all over the world,
Yeah.
right? But one of the things that that is disheartening to me is that we still look to somebody else to fashion a way for us, right?
Yes.
So, and that in itself is like, all right, they have Hollywood. We want to be
Yeah.
a part of it.
True.
They have Grammy Awards. We want to be a part of that. They have
Yeah.
their money. We
Yeah.
want to be a part of that also, right? But that is not us. That is not how we were. That is not our history. That's not our legacy,
Yeah.
right? So we need to really get into our spirits because we are
Yeah.
spiritual being first,
Get back
right?
to self.
And because of that spirituality, we have endured a lot and
Yeah.
come forward and we could stand firm still, right? And acknowledge that something is wrong, right? And because of that, we have the ability to change what
Yeah.
is wrong, right? We have always demonstrated ourselves as the game changer, the world fixer, right? The problem solver, right? And we don't just solve the problem with a plaster. We fix the problem permanently, right?
Yeah.
We heal. We don't, as the doctor would say, um, give you a,
A temporary remedy that
what
will
is
have to
a
come back
medication,
and
right?
again. Yeah.
To yeah, to deal with symptoms. You know, we fix the things. So if that is the case, then we have it in us to do so, and we don't need anyone's way to follow
Yeah.
in order to fix our situations, right? And that's what I've been saying, right? And in doing so, instead of in my space here in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, West Indies here, we instead of I can't come in the streets and protest, right? We don't have to go through that, right? Because that is not my experience,
Right.
right? If we have to, we will, right? But I'm saying the greatest thing that we can do for ourselves is create. That's what's in us, the creators, right?
Definite.
We can create things, right? So I have my space. We have a space of land here, right? There are others who can do the same. We plant our food, right?
Yes.
That's the first thing. We feed ourselves so we don't have to be fed by someone else's way, someone
Yeah.
else's poison, right? Because they've been feeding us poison for over how many years, how many centuries, right? All of these things. So we could feed ourselves to start off with, so we could be healthy for ourselves. We could think for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing, right? And from that, we could plant, as they say, plant trees that we could build our own economy,
Yeah.
right? We could rear our own animals so we could nurture ourselves,
Yeah.
right? All of the things that is of us, we have been given it naturally, so we can go and do that, right? And not have to depend on anyone else for our sustenance of life, right?
Self-sustainable man is a man that needs nothing from anyone.
Definitely. I don't have to answer no questions to nobody, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about, right? So, and I'm looking at so many of the different situations taking place all over the world, right? You're seeing white people, French people, Chinese, all over the world,
Yeah.
Russians, you name them, right? They all coming together and in solidarity with us,
Yes.
right? And for some of us, that makes us feel empowered because they are saying, yeah, this is wrong, right? But we don't need nobody to tell us that it's wrong.
And that's the
We know
sad
it's wrong,
part about it. That's the
right?
sad part
We have
about
been
it.
suffering. Yes, yeah,
They're waiting
right.
for other
So
communities to stand up
when
for them.
right, but here's the thing. I've experienced unity in my Black community personally, right? And it helps to order and fashion a way forward that we can do it, right? We have already made the statements that we can, and we have started. So let no one think that we are asking for anything or thinking about doing something. It has already started, right? And that's why I can speak so fervently,
Yeah.
right? That we have started this way forward, right? Or as they say, all the alleys that we could think of,
Yeah.
right? And we have forged a way forward, and we will. It's just for the majority of us to get into it, if we so desire, right? Because it's not for me to call you.
Is there some way for our viewers to be able to get a little bit more information as to what you're about? Do you have a Facebook page? Like how could the viewers get a little bit more information as to the community, the brotherhood, the Black community that you guys have been able to find that unity in and that you're trying to build up? How can they support this?
Okay. As it stands, my wife and I, we have been given the Emmanuel's Academy of Life,
right?
Where, and that's a Facebook page, and we have a website there going on, right? So they could log on to Emmanuel's Academy of Life on Facebook, Life Focus, right? Emmanuel's Academy of Life / Life Focus, and you would see the thought process that is going on. Also, as members of the Nation of Islam, right, where it is taught to build that we have developed a way to build a nation within the nation that is surrounding us, right, so that we think for and operate for ourselves, right? All of those things. My Facebook page is D Woodman G Joy of Craft, right, where I share my thoughts and with friends and like-minded persons would also share these sentiments on my Facebook page, right? And I'll have to get the website address because it was just developed not to Prime Point Communication.
Yeah.
.com/EAL. That's it. Right, HTTP primepointcommunication.com//EAL.
Wonderful.
Right? That's the website, right? Where we'll be showing and demonstrating the simple, effective way of thinking and operating as ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
All right, people. Well, we have the
brother. When I love it.
Just 1 second. Let me just make sure that the people know that we have the brother's Facebook page there in the comments. You guys can go ahead and give the brother some support and his wife. We need to support each other. We need to support Black businesses, especially when you have such a wonderful academy like this. Listen to the name, the Academy of Life, with life focus, teaching you how to eat, how to live, how to live right. I'm just browsing through the page here that you guys have on Facebook here, and I could see some really interesting stuff. So you guys go and check out the link in the comment section there, and make sure and visit the brother's page and give him that support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. So, is there anything else that you would like to for me to share that with our viewers as it stands?
I would just like to thank you for taking the opportunity to come on the live with us here today. You know, we really appreciate it. Definitely, people go and support the brother's page there. Give him some support. And as you mentioned, being a member of the Nation of Islam, let me just let you know that we actually have Brother David Muhammad on next week, Monday at 1 p.m. So if you're available, make sure and tune into the channel for that interview that we have with Brother David Muhammad, okay?
Yeah, that's my brother. He is the Eastern Caribbean representative of the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
And the head of the organization. Right, and we would have started the Black Agenda project. He will be able to give you a whole insight about it. Yes, so yes, I would be logging in on that thing most definitely. So we'll definitely be keeping in touch with that.
All our rest of listeners, that's Monday at 1 p.m. Trinity time. We will have Brother David Muhammad on the show as we address the topic of the riots in the United States. So, my brother, thank you very much for taking your time to join us. Do have a pleasant evening to yourself and the wife.
Yes, sir. Most blessings to you and your viewers.
Thank you. Good night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the original Woodman. And you guys, you could go and check out his studio, his Facebook page there. People, listen, if the entire world is rallying around us and they're saying that we stand with the injustices, then I believe that now is the time to unite and come together, and it's time for us to have a serious conversation with the world leaders, the world superpowers, with the white nations about reparations. Because they would want to come to you and say that we stand with you and we feel your pain and we are with you. But the only way for them to prove that they are really with us, it is time to give us what you owe us. America, England, France, Jubilee, Jubilo, and Jubilum. You know you have been killing us for 400 years. You know you've been robbing us for 400 years. You know you've been raping us for 400 years. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, the time for us to have the reparation conversation is now. If they want to prove that Black Lives Matter, if they want to prove that the injustice must come to an end, then give us what you owe us so that people like me who want to go back to where you stole me from 400 years ago, I would have the resources to do so. We need to have the reparation conversation now. If they want to say they respect us, we will never be respected unless we are on an equal economic playing field. America owes us. Britain owes us. France, I will listen, guys. I want to talk about France, you know, because I tell all you I'm angry. The 500 billion francs or euros that France does take out of Africa every single year that could be coming towards people throughout the diaspora to help them return back home. And this French president and the French government want to say that Africans and African leaders are not able to manage their own resources, and therefore France, they must deposit their money to the France banks for the French investors to do with it as they please. And if they want their money, if Africa wants its very own money from France, Africa has to write and ask France, may I please have 25% of my money, because you're only entitled to have 25% of your own money. All you think slavery done? All you think we emancipated? I tell you, slavery will never be done. We will never be emancipated unless and until they pay us. So we need to have that reparation conversation. I tell all you, I'm vexed tonight, I'm vexed. I'm watching the news, I'm watching everything that's going on. And listen, I want to say to Commissioner Gary Griffin, because I'm vexed with you too. I was listening to one brother, and it makes sense where he says someone shared a photo on Facebook, and they were saying how, oh, I'm so sorry. I think I'm so passionate tonight. My voice is a little elevated, and I may have woken up the baby. So my humble apologies. I'll try to take it down a little bit. Trinidad and Tobago, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you guys viewing from right now. If you're watching this live, just give us a like, give us a thumbs up. If you could leave a comment there. If you want to join, if you have something that you like to say, just go ahead and click the link. I'm gonna display this link here. Go into the comment section and click that link. If you have not done so already, please go subscribe to my YouTube page. But I was talking about France. The money that France taken from Africa every year. In this day and age, if they want to say that they respect us, I say the US government, the French government, the Spanish government, the Portuguese government, the British government, it is time for them to pay reparations, because we had enough of their world. As the brother that was on the call there, the Woodman, he mentioned being a member of the Nation of Islam, and it just brought back something what I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say in one of his speeches about President Donald Trump. He said that Donald Trump was peeling back the civility of white America as if it were an onion. Minister Louis Farrakhan, I have to say, you is a prophet. Because we have seen white civility peeled back to its core, and its nasty, evil, devilish racism exposed. And I say to my people in America, unite, demand reparations, and as much as that land belongs to you, because it was our forefathers who built America on the sweat of their slave labor. They built that country after these Europeans, after these Caucasians went to America 1400 and something years of the current era, and killed, murdered, genocide, the greatest genocide in the world of the Indian American indigenous people. Then they went to Africa, and 200 million of my people, including my ancestors, my bloodline, was stolen, was ripped away from Africa and dragged to the Western Hemisphere. It was 400 years, August last year, that the Mayflower first landed and brought the first set of my ancestors. And I say, after 400 years of shackles, after 400 years of mental slavery, after 400 years of verbal and physical disrespect, after being shut down in the street like a dog, after being lynched, After being beaten to a pulp simply for being black, I say it is time we have had enough. All people of the world need to unite around black people in the Western Hemisphere, in the European nations. And you know what? We all need to march. Marching might seem a bit passive at times, but we need the middle ground. Like I was listening to Brother David Muhammad say yesterday, we need that middle ground between the peaceful march and the bomb everything and burn everything. We need to all come together. Listen, they're gonna kill some of us. They've already started killing some of us. They've killed my friend. Every time I was in Kentucky, every time I was in Louisville, Kentucky, on my way to Cincinnati, Ohio, I would stop and get some of the best barbecue in Kentucky. They killed the barbecue man yesterday. They will continue killing us. And some of us will have to die. But you can't be so selfish where you only care about so much about holding on to this life that don't even belong to you, that you have no control over. But yet still you want to hold on to this life. You have to be willing to fight and willing to die. And we have to all come together. Like Minister Louis Farrakhan led 1 million people, 1 million man march to Washington. We need 100 million. We need 100 million Americans marching to Washington, demanding justice, demanding reparations, demanding respect for the black community, demanding opportunities, demanding the removal of racism, institutionalized racism. Racism in America is so brutal. And here in the UK, they have CAD-CAM, institutionalized racism. Computer aid design, computer aid manufactured, CAD-CAM. So when you go to the GP office and you fill out what ethnicity you are, and you think that you're just sitting there waiting and it's a computer waiting to call your names, and you see all of these people who do not look like you. They come in 10 minutes after you and they sign in and they go in straight away, and they come in 30 minutes after you and they sign in. And meanwhile, you sitting there and you thinking, well, no, it's a computer system. It's not that they're just picking these people over me. Not knowing that the algorithm that they build, the computer system, the program that they use an algorithm that will discriminate against you. When you try it. You go and to a new GP, to a new general practice in the UK, and you put your ethnic background as British white, and then go back and see how quickly you will get an appointment from that same computer system. I tell you, it's CAD-CAM racism. Computer aid design, computer aid manufactured, institutionalized racism. So some of us will have to die. We will have to fight. Not physical, not with guns and bullets, but with strength and unity and togetherness and love. This is the unique opportunity. We have never had an outpouring of support towards people of black skin as we have now. We see every single superstar in the world right now on Blackout Tuesday. Look, you see my profile picture, black. If you look at every star in the world right now, all of them black. If you look on Instagram right now, the biggest trending hashtag is Blackout Tuesday. Use that unity to call for what we really should be calling for. Because when you call in for 1 or 4 policemen to be tried with murder, and third-degree murder, not even first degree or second degree, but third-degree murder, when you call in for 4 policemen to be tried for murder, they'll try them, they'll acquit them. It's gonna happen again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until my son is 25 years old, and then after somebody looking to gun down my son because they find he shouldn't be in that neighborhood, or like the lady who was in the park, in Central Park, when this millionaire wife called the police on she and said how she was threatening her and her kids. That will not be my son. We will fight and we will change this world. They have hated us. They have hated us for no reason. We tried Martin Luther King's way. We tried to say that we have a dream of little black boys and little black girls playing in the streets together. And we have taught our children well. We have taught our children to love everyone. But they don't teach their children to love us. You think they teach their children to love your children? I have some friends right here in my city. I love them to death. But when their little daughter see my son, the only question they ask is, why is he burnt? Why is he burnt like that? Why is he so dark? You think that's the world I want my son to grow up in? No. So what do you say? Oh, move out of that neighborhood? No. We will change their mentality one way or the other. What I know is that we will not stop. You would shoot us down. You would imprison us. You would blacklist us. You would shut down our social media accounts. But we will not stop. And as you kill one, the seed, the blood, the life, the tears, the hopes, the dreams, the aspiration of that one that you killed, it is going to grow and it's going to start a fire. So I would suggest that you join us. I would suggest that you do the right thing. I would suggest that you answer to the call of paying to black people what is due to them for 400 years. The time for reparations is now. The time to show that you're with us, that you respect us, that you see us as your equal is now. Pay us for what you have put our forefathers and us through. You people looking for a cause to protest and to riot and to come together and congregate. And you think you want to come together and congregate for the arrest of 4 police officers. You want to come together and congregate for Donald Trump to leave the White House. That's all well and good, but when that happens, it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. The only thing that will change the situation for black people around the world is that we have to force them to pay the reparations that they owe us. And when we have the financial security, then nobody could mistreat us because they know we could take our money and we could go back to Africa. You wouldn't hear anybody saying, oh, well, if they don't like it, why they don't just go back to Africa anymore. You wouldn't hear that anymore. Because we will finally be able to take our resources and go back to Africa. But we can't do that right now because we don't have nothing, because you keep us with nothing, because the system that you built and you designed, it's designed to keep us on welfare. It's designed to break the black family life. It's designed to destroy the institution of the black marriage. So let the mother tell the children that the father ain't no good unless you go and depend on social welfare. And let the father think that all the black women and them bad. So all he could do is just go and have a temporary relationship with one. That is not our life. That is not black culture. That is their plan to keep us in poverty. Keep us looking for pie in the sky. What are you protesting about, my dear friends? Are you protesting about the murder of George Floyd? Are you protesting over the injustice that black people are being dished out across the entire globe? You see, in China, they try to blame us for coronavirus. They try to kick black people out of the hotels. When I walk in by Anfield Stadium in Liverpool and people driving down the road, you dirty nigger! It happened to me right here. Oh my gosh, now we don't even talk about the times in America that it happened to me. What are you fighting for? You're fighting so that somebody gonna love you? You want to fight for what Martin Luther King fight for? Martin Luther King fight for that, and look where we is today. The civil rights movement fight for that. Look where we is today. We in a worse mess than we was back then, because at least back then when we had segregation, we had black businesses and black communities flourishing. Now we in a much worse position. People, I tell you, I can't go on much tonight. You know, if anybody want to comment, if anybody want to call in, if you have anything to say, I'll come now, because I fell up. I need to go and sleep, because from tomorrow is a different Romel Ravello. I am not passing this struggle on to my son. The buck stops with us. Our fathers may not have been as strong and resilient. They may not have had the technology. They might not have had the knowledge. They might not have been bold enough. But I from the generation of vipers. I from that last generation that gonna take the nonsense. Are you? Ladies and gentlemen, you see the show that we did last night? Last night was the last of that. You see, when we come on and play some music and enjoy ourselves, from now on, this is the message. Reparations for black people. Reparations for the diaspora. Reparations for Africa. And then if you want, you could tell me, go back to where you steal me from. People, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up before you go. But I can't continue. I have a headache. My belly hurting. My eyes ready to start watering. I'm ready to cry. And I ain't going and break down and cry on social media for my black people. So all you'll see me tomorrow, same time, same place. As a matter of fact, no, tomorrow I here at 1 o'clock. I have the interview with my friend Jesse Reyes, better known as Jesse King from Hollywood, on his journey. Tomorrow I need to start off with people are ready to die, you know. I know my wife wouldn't want to hear me saying that, but I ready to die. I ready to lay down my life. I'll leave you guys with a quote from Jesus Christ as I go, or from the Bible. He who wishes to save his life will surely lose it. But he who is willing to lose his life will surely find it. You have to be willing to lay your life down for what is right. As Jesus said, no greater love than this, that a man would lay his life down for his friends. My brothers and sisters, this is the Ravello Show. My name is Romel Ravello. It is time that we lay our lives down for our Black brothers and sisters. Join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. as I have the interview with my good friend Jesse Reyes, better known as Jesse King. You guys might have seen him in Dark Knight, but tomorrow we're going to talk about all of the shows that he's been in. And then we're back again with this topic at 6:30 in the afternoon. Until that time, my friends, be blessed. I am very sorry. Usually I carry on the show for an hour and 45 minutes, but it's only a half a show tonight, guys. I can't do it. I'm not going to break down and cry on social media. Good night.